Parts of Europe swelter in record May heat as deaths at amateur sports events spur warnings. Oh boy, it's happening. It's 90 degrees in London? Jesus Christ. It's evening in London. UK temperatures. Oh my god, it's going to be even hotter tomorrow. The high today was 92. The high tomorrow is 93. What the hell? Rookie numbers, that's like a normal Tuesday in Los Angeles. It's true, but keep in mind LA is a dry heat and all the buildings are made of paper, whereas in the United Kingdom, it is a suffocating, humid heat and the buildings are made of stone. Yes, but the British deserve to suffer. This is also true, but there are good people living there. Tourists, I assume. They also haven't invented air conditioning over there. They literally can't afford it. Do you have any idea how much it would cost the average Brit to run AC with their fucking power bills? The UK broke its record Monday for the hottest temperature ever recorded in May. Oh no. Not like this, man. It hit 92 degrees Fahrenheit at Heathrow Airport. Oh no. Breaking the previous record by a whole degree Fahrenheit. Oh god. It's only gonna get worse. Installing AC in all homes would cause a rolling brownout or straight up collapse of the grid. My understanding is that every watt of electricity that makes its way to a European home has to be like hand delivered from a Russian natural gas power plant. My understanding might be a little bit antiquated, but I think that every time a Brit turns on the tea kettle or whatever, you have to imagine the natural gas racing from a Russian pipeline over to a plant, you know? It has to travel long and far. They don't make energy domestically. They don't know how to. They've forgotten how. Mostly Azerbaijan now, but yes, that's even farther away. Okay. Fucked up. Man, wouldn't it have been cool if the European Union had invested in building up their energy grid as opposed to what they've been doing for the past 40 years, which is shitting into their cupped hands and eating the shit? Wouldn't it be crazy if they had taken a different route other than like the aforementioned poop eating strategy?
Now, Western Europe is bracing for an unusually intense end of May heat wave, with forecasters warning temperatures can break long-standing records across parts of the continent. And health officials are urging people to take precautions as a powerful high-pressure system traps hot air in what scientists describe as a heat dome. Now, hot weather is already sweeping across parts of Europe, with beaches filling up and ice cream sales booming as people search for ways to cool down. In the United Kingdom, the Met Office had said the temperatures are expected to climb above the previous May record of 32.8 degrees Celsius, which was set back in 1944. Health experts are warning the sudden spike in temperatures could pose serious risks, especially for vulnerable groups and people with heart conditions. Now, Cancer Research UK has...
Were you living in Seattle when the region had our heat dome back in 2021? Yeah, it was pretty crazy. I remember I was up in like the studio, just playing Binding of Isaac in 112-degree heat. I had the fan on and I just sat there motionless. I was like a lizard. I lizard maxed for the heat dome in Seattle. My thought was like trying to fight the heat is futile. You have to simply lay there motionless and have a lot of water. Y'all have no ACs up in the PNW? 50-50. Anyway, it's not good, folks. This is only the beginning, too. Probably going to get a lot of deaths in Europe this year just from the heat wave. A lot of deaths. Maybe 5 digits. Who knows? Who knows?
Has also issued fresh warnings about prolonged sun exposure, saying melanoma skin cancer cases in the UK are projected to reach a record high this year. And the charity says that skin cancer rates have risen by nearly a third over the past decade. Now, meteorologists say that the heat surge is being driven by a major shift in wind patterns. First, meteorologists say wind patterns have shifted, with cooler northern winds weakening and warm air moving north from Africa. That hot air is now spreading into Western and Central Europe, causing temperatures to rise rapidly. At the same time, a large high-pressure system has formed over the region, trapping heat near the ground and creating so-called heat dome conditions. And under the high pressure, air sinks and cloud covers reduces, allowing more sunshine to reach the surface, and with clear skies and warm winds continuing for several days.
Jesus fuck, it's 37 degrees Celsius in Paris today? Good lord. It's May. It is May. Where are all the ruroids who made fun of our AC? Or the Europeans? They're gonna be begging for our AC technology.
the water at London's Teddington Lock is how these people want to beat the heat. On the hottest day of the year, the kayaks are out.
So far.
The paddleboards too, and even a rowing boat.
We decided to kind of drive down. We departed from Richmond, and then we paddled the whole way here.
We've been waiting for the sun for months, and we winter paddle, but it finally feels like summer's arrived this weekend.
I love the sun, so for me it's like...
Glad we're taking a positive kick on this over at Sky News, you know? Sky News is owned by Murdoch, so they can't acknowledge climate change. They have to be like, cool, blimey, sure is a nice day to be out in the sun, innit? Or something like that.
Ideal and perfect. Beautiful.
You can tell these people aren't really used to the sun either, because this older woman has relatively nice skin, and she's wearing what appears to be a tank top with minimal sunscreen coverage during a record heat wave in the UK. All these people are going to die of skin cancer. When I was down in Zion, almost every person hiking there was wearing like a sun shirt or was fucking lathered in sunscreen, which is objectively the correct thing to do, by the way. In fact, like, you should get... Everyone watching this right now should invest in a sun shirt. Like, however bad you think the sun is for your skin, it's worse, okay? What's a sun shirt? It's a shirt that has UV protection properties, you know? They're not exactly fashionable, but they will keep you from dying. If you want to fashion max for it, you're going to have to put some work in, okay? I don't know. You can dress like you live on Arrakis, maybe, or you can watch Lawrence of Arabia and take your fit inspo from there. So like a white shirt. No, a UV protected white shirt. A thin, light, white linen shirt on its own doesn't afford you much sun protection, though it's better than nothing.
It's lovely to see everyone out, everyone happy.
It's officially a heat wave, with temperatures in excess of 30 degrees.
Do regular shirts not protect you from UV? A good amount, yeah, usually. Depends on the fabric, of course, but a sun shirt will 100% protect you from UV wherever you're wearing it.
Celsius. The last time this happened in May was back in 2012. And when unseasonably good weather arrives, so do official warnings.
With the sun comes danger from the heat. The UK Health Security Agency has issued amber alerts for the Midlands, East of England, London and the South East. And this means that health and social care services are likely to be significantly impacted by the heat.
My eyes hurt looking at her skin.
These alerts remain in place until 5 p.m. on Wednesday.
With the heat here to stay, sunbathing is a popular choice. But with UV levels being high, there are considerations. The UV level is highest in the UK between the hours of 11 and 3, but its strength is dependent upon a range of factors. Month of the year, the high-risk months are May to September. Cloud cover, even through overcast skies, 30 to 40% of UV still reaches the ground. Altitude, the higher up you go, the stronger the UV. And reflection, water reflects 5 to 10% of UV rays. And it's leaving skin cancer specialists concerned.
Unfortunately, we have a really unhealthy relationship with the sun in the UK because it comes out so intermittently. We binge on it. The problem is we were never brought up to have good sun protection habits. And that's something that's been passed on from generation to generation. So even now, you have adults that will put sunscreen on children and just wipe the remnants on themselves.
Across the UK, from rivers to our coastlines, the same picture. Beaches and a bank...
Can you just not buy sunscreen in the UK? Yeah, of course you could buy sunscreen, but a lot of people don't use it. A lot of people are just like, whatever, and that's how you die. Then you die.
Holiday, a combination that has the RNLI on high alert.
Whilst the air temperature is perhaps unseasonably warm...
It was a joke, Tard? Damn, well, this is a joke too.
The sea temperature, water temperature of rivers, lakes, and anywhere like that just hasn't caught up yet. Suddenly going into that water will bring on a thing called cold water shock, and we're urging people to really take care. So if you are planning to go to a beach, if you can, please go to a lifeguarded beach.
For now, the sunshine continues, but...
Remember when people got upset at climate activists for throwing paint on Stonehenge? Wonder how those people feel now. They don't see the connection. These are Sky News viewers. They have no idea. Oh, you can see here what I rented for last night. In pursuing with my interest in authentic Dracula adaptations, we watched the first 2/3 of Van Helsing. Christ, that movie's shit. Fun though. Just read the comments. How did we ever manage without these needless alerts? Temperature goes above 20 and it's a national emergency. Yeah, see, they literally don't. It's called summer. It comes around every year. These people are all going to die. Oh no, we have weather, and in the winter, we will have weather. Why the news always make good weather in the UK sound bad. Hottest temperature ever recorded in May. This is what, again, like it's Sky News. I don't know what you want.
As soon as the temperatures soar, this couple near Rhone doesn't hesitate to switch on the air conditioning. 32 degrees outside versus 25 inside. Their house was fitted with 3 units 3 years ago.
As soon as summer arrives, the heat makes us switch them on everywhere, and that cools the whole house down. So there's one in the bedroom, one in the study, and one in the living room, and we can actually run them separately.
To save money, they don't switch them on all at once, as the extra cost on the electricity bill can run up to €80 a month, on top of the cost of
Man's got a damn setup over there.
And installation, which can run up to €3,000.
I'm suffering from the heat these days.
When this happens in the US, the energy grid will buckle and people will just start dying in their homes. Yeah, I really don't think people are ready for like the great boomer die-off of 2027, where record temperatures across the Bible Belt cause a rolling brownout, and then like 400,000 boomers just die like overnight, you know? Might address the political demographics a bit, but probably not enough to fix the Bible Belt.
Pay an extra 80 euros to have it a bit cooler than be hot all day long.
The uptake of air conditioning in France is growing year on year, 27% of houses and 12% of flats by 2025, a figure well below that of Japan, where 91% of homes are air conditioned. In the United States, the figure is 90%. With a heatwave in May, these Parisians have decided to get themselves kitted out.
We decided to go all out. The place is poorly insulated, so we needed something quite powerful after all.
But there's always the same dilemma, the negative impact of air conditioning on the environment.
It's a vicious circle, really. It's true that we are increasing the temperature outside, but it's become unbearable.
Like them, more and more customers are deciding to take the plunge.
A 60% increase in our sales of fans and air conditioners compared to last year, so a real increase in sales.
This shop is air-conditioned, like the vast majority of shopping centres and a third of French offices. As for schools, only
2/3 of French offices don't have AC. Oh my God. Good Lord.
Unconscious runners being treated by emergency responders, some placed in ice water to lower their body temperature. They all collapsed during races Sunday morning in a suburb outside Paris, where temperatures climbed over 30 degrees. A total of 16 people fell ill. 10 were taken to the hospital in serious condition.
I saw people being treated, first aid arriving. People were exhausted. They were vomiting.
Faced with the heat wave, organizers had considered canceling the race.
They're all going to die.
Ultimately decided to go ahead, adding more water stations and increasing the number of medical personnel on site.
It was maintained because we are not facing extraordinary circumstances and because additional measures were added.
20 people had to go to the emergency room after a marathon in Gothenburg. In Sweden?
Central Paris, a man in his 50s suffered cardiac arrest during another race. At this stage, a link to the heat has not formally been established.
He collapsed suddenly, then his head hit the ground. And we could tell right away that he had stopped breathing. Emergency responders arrived almost immediately. They tried to resuscitate him for at least an hour and a half, but they were
The smug Euroid will know true suffering. I feel we can't make fun of the Europeans too much for suffering the consequences of climate change when, like, most Europeans believe in anthropogenic climate change and, like, half of Americans don't, you know? In fairness, the insistence that anthropogenic climate change isn't real is largely an American phenomenon. It's like an American evangelical doomsday cult phenomenon, right? Like most Europeans believe in anthropogenic climate change. So on this one, feel like they don't deserve it quite as much. You just saw the comments in the Sky News segment? Yeah, but that's like Sky News. Those are like the, you know, Brexit boomers. Fucked up thing is that the USA is projected to not be affected by climate change that much directly. You're wrong. Okay, like the big thing is that like Europe is going to get much, much, much hotter, but America is going to get a lot more tumultuous, weather events in America are much more extreme on average than they are in Europe. We have colder colds and hotter hots. So on average, I think the temperature is projected to rise across Europe more than America, but we're going to get more extreme weather events. New York City is going to get buffeted with a hurricane every like 3 days. Americans emit like 10 times as much CO2 per capita as Europeans. Oh no, we are a wretched death country. We are a death country for sure. We will be despised in times to come. Like history will look back on us. It was a common belief during the Middle Ages that Rome fell because they were decadent, that homosexual pagan emperors were too busy fucking each other to look after the people, and that the Europeans that followed may be less technologically developed, but were more spiritually developed. This is how future generations will think about America. They're going to fucking hate us. They are going to hate our asses, man. Good Lord, look at that. Oof, Wyoming. In fairness, there are like 5 people in Wyoming, so how are they emitting so much? Because people in Wyoming and North Dakota, these are largely rural, low development areas, which means that a lot of the people here are living a rural lifestyle with American incomes. In addition to the fact they drive around constantly, yeah. Like we're talking like people having to drive 2 hours to go to the grocery store, but everyone has to do that. There's basically no equivalent to this in Europe. Like there's essentially no place in Europe. The closest I can think of is Russia, because Russia does also, like a lot of people depend on their cars to get around, a very wide country depending on where you live. But Russia doesn't have the income. If Russia was a wealthy country, they might be as much of a problem as we are, but they don't have the income to they can't drive as freely as we can. Then what's West Virginia's excuse? Probably the same deal, right? If anything, the lesson we should learn from this is that the more developed and dense a population is, the less carbon it emits per capita, right? I mean, California, New York City, look at this. Coal plants there? Yeah, they do have a lot of coal plants in West Virginia as well, because, coal. So, I did not know that, Thana. Anyway, yeah, world's ending. Don't know what you want, I guess. Gonna be a bad heat wave. I want to reverse time. If you could turn back time to the good old days. You get it? You heard that song before? Incidentally, much as we Westerners like to complain, it's actually much worse elsewhere. For instance, the Delhi heat wave, allegedly, according to this here YouTube short, has crossed 45 degrees Celsius, which, to my understanding, is 1 million degrees Fahrenheit.
If we talk about Delhi NCR and Northwest India, maximum temperatures are currently exceeding 45 degrees Celsius in many places. Consequently, heat wave conditions are being felt in many...
I have no idea how accurate these translations are. Let me look for something a little bit more reliable. Delhi temperature. Right now, it's nighttime, and it is 94 degrees Fahrenheit, so that's cool.
India is experiencing sweltering, blistering heat. I'm currently in the national capital, New Delhi, and the temperature right now is 45 degrees. The sun is shining at my face, and it's extremely difficult to be standing here on the streets. More than an environmental issue, this is also becoming a public health challenge for the residents of the city, who are experiencing dehydration, exhaustion, and in some severe cases, also heat strokes. The government has issued advisories and alerts directing people to stay indoors. However, for many here on the streets of Delhi, that is not an option.
Due to how Indian seasons work, this is about as hot as it gets. We'll see, buddy, okay? It's due to be a bad year. A bad year.
Are continuing to work in these extreme conditions
to be
able to earn their living. Alongside the advisories by the government, there is a heat action plan that has been initiated for the city of Delhi. However, the Indian Meteorological Department predicts that the next week will not bring any relief to the...
Yeah, dressing like this is your alternative to wearing a sun shirt. Your choice, white boy. And this is 1 a.m. Wait, 1 a.m. where? Reset to now? This is now. Yeesh. 98 of the 100 hottest cities in the world are in India. I feel so bad for people in the global south, man. We whine so much over here, and we've caused so many problems for so many people. Look at the southwestern USA. Always got to bring it back to the west, huh? Oh, pretty hot, but 94 in Vegas and Phoenix isn't, entirely out of the pale. The real story right now is over in the east. Or, our east. Yeah. Imagine living here and having to listen to Trump tell you that in order to end war with Iran, your leaders have to sign the Abraham Accords. Sheesh. Imagine. God is protecting his heavenly warriors in Tehran, though. See? Relatively cool. We know it's going to be a bad time all around, but where would you say will be least bad? I'm not giving you fucking world tour coordinates to outlast the apocalypse, buddy, okay? Fly to the moon. I'm becoming a Shia Catholic. Aren't we all?